once we find our nationality and serve that nationality, we'll do for ourselves what needs to be done.
Keep thinking it's games, you already know these beasts kill you on camera, leave you niggas dead in the streets. You're still handcuffed and bloody, but no 911 calls. Bystander effect in full effect, so watching with y'all, mind blowing. Watching my people holding up traffic of innocent people. My people need to get their ass kicked. Marching and picketing is most cowardice and funkified, while dead bodies just multiply. Sisters killed in their cell, you claim it's hell. You raise and burn down your own community, not one police station. You love pork chops, but I see no police bacon. And when it comes to revolution, most of y'all are faking.
All ethnic groups in this country understand they got a nationality, because you answer to such stupid words like
Black lives don't matter, but you still claim black. Rather film someone get choked out but won't choke back. And the one that uploads first face charges trumped up. What you think will happen when President Trump's up? More killing and murders of stateless herds. Hoods are concentration camps now, ghettos are burbs. Gun stores short on ammo, they're melting down church bells. Blacks seek shelter in temples where God doesn't dwell. That's why a foreigner can walk in and shoot up your service. Praying to invisible gods give you the curses. You pray to relinquish, that's none of my business. I suggest you nationalize with the quickness. I suggest you study law, stop with the bitch shit. In your face I see them spray the pepperish liquid, then pouring white milk on your face. I thought that milk was the devil. Sound weapons drown the noise level. Poise you rebel.
because you answer to such stupid words like Negro and color and black. You have
The
no
point that I'm
nationality.
making, blacks are mistaken. Call them highwaymen, not cracker pigs or bacon. Taking your tax dollars and riot gear, they relaxing. Cause in a black status, don't even think about a class action. Don't even think about rights being respected without getting injected. I see you infected. Then the same ones that violate the laws you re-elected. Your vote matters more than black lives, feel disrespected. Control the Negroes, looks tested and perfected. That's why about being black I'm skeptic and left it. My people are tripping, walking with arms like panthers who got nowhere in the 60s, so that's not the answer. And black leader, race war instigator puppets teach kill those who killed us as justice. But have they ever killed? I think not. If they did, it's hearsay, nobody to show. Yellow envelope, money in escrow, accounts overseas, not in democracies, live in hypocrisies. It's all de jure mockeries, bureaucracies, vampiric, but most can't hear it. It's only the attitude, the regalia is not clan spirit. Until my people wake up, your struggle for rights continue, and your children's organs end up on the elite menu. You love text but delete the messages, more send you with no status. You're in the jurisdiction and venue of the same beast system you attempt to defeat. Only as Moors will you get them on the heels of their feet. Of the same beast system you attempt to defeat. Only as Moors will you get them on the heels of your feet.
The name of a people must relate them instantaneously to land, history, and culture. And anytime you call a people by their right name, anytime you call a people, name a people, and fail to relate them back to land, history, and culture, you have called them out of their name. There's no black land or black owner. There's nothing wrong with the word black. Nothing wrong with it at all. Only it doesn't relate to a country. The name of every people in the world relate to country. And once you think instantaneously of land, you think of nationality.
It's a lot of examples out here that's not working. Now, if there's a sovereignty guru out here that's like, you know, able to show people how this shit work, maybe, you know, he can stand up and come on here and talk about it. But for
they can't do it because it doesn't work. This is why before I was really mad at Dr. Reggie, because when he was taking on the Moors, I told Dr. Reggie, I said, listen, ask Tashariq Bey, show you 10 examples, give you 10 docket numbers or case numbers of where somebody was using his paperwork, claiming to be sovereign and all that, and they beat their case. Show me 10 examples. Dr. Reggie did do it. He asked Tariq Bey that question, and that was the last time you ever saw Tariq Bey on Sonetta TV because he knew the jig was up.
Yeah.
He just deflected and he dipped, and now he's just doing his own thing. Why he ain't been back to Sonetta? He was just in New York and did a lecture with I think Severe Bay. Why he didn't drop by Sonetta? He was right in New York. He was in Brooklyn, and you know it's right there, Brooklyn to Harlem. You could get there in like an hour. Why he didn't drop by? It's a reason he didn't drop by because he ain't answered that question, and he don't want to answer that question. And nobody has ever asked him that question. When has somebody? That's another reason why I don't like these people a lot. I got issue with people who try to debate the Moors and claim to be all these scholars because you can easily debunk them if you was actually a scholar. I'm not a scholar, but I can read and I understand the law, so I could deal with it. But you're supposed to be a scholar and you're having a 3-hour highfalutin conversation with them and getting nowhere, and it looks like you're losing the conversation. You're supposed to be a scholar, but you didn't think to ask them to provide you with tangible proof for their ideology actually working.
Yeah, man.
Like people will ask religious people for proof for there being God, but people know that there's no way to prove or disprove God existed. But they'll ask for proof all day. But you got somebody sitting in your face talking to you about legal, verifiable documents, and you're not asking them to show you proof.
Exactly. Yeah, I think, like I said, I think you're doing a hell of a job, man. Just pointing out to the people like how dangerous or the dangers in doing this. And I don't see any one of these individuals. I don't see where it's benefiting them at all. I don't. I see. Go ahead.
Like I challenge somebody. I challenge somebody to show me that you were able to do something that you weren't able to do before by calling yourself a Moorish American.
Yeah.
Or using this paperwork in any way, shape, or form. Show me how you was able to do something that I can't do by identifying as black.
Right. Yeah. Let me see that.
Let me see that. Like show me. Like show me. I want to see. That's what I want to see. See, this is the problem. Nobody's asking for proof. When is somebody's going to ask for proof? People ask the Hebrew Israelites, the Muslims, Christians all day long for proof for there being a God, but nobody asks the Moors to prove that they that their paperwork works.
You think
when we gonna ask for that?
You think the Moors getting a pass?
Of course they're getting a pass.
Yeah.
Because every time they come, and the reason they get a pass because a lot of these people ain't as smart as they pretend to be, and they get intimidated when people start getting highfalutin.
Right.
And on top of that, I know for a fact behind the scenes that Moors will threaten people. If you start getting too much into their business, they'll threaten you.
Damn.
This is why every time you see Tariq Bey somewhere, he got like goons around him. When you see when the Moors came to 125th to talk to Reggie, they came suited and booted like they was ready to go to Iraq or something. They do that to they do that to intimidate people. They use big words to intimidate people, and they come with numbers, and they come like trying to look physically imposing to intimidate people.
So if you dishonor your mother and father, they know that you're Moors.
They know we're related.
In blood.
I'm just talking about my aunt.
Do you understand what I'm saying? But you know, they don't like black people because that's the tag that tells who. When you're looking at African people, how can you tell the ones who are dishonored? The ones that's talking about human beings are crayons. They confess it out their own mouth. That's why you got to take people to a ordinary dictionary and show them that they're Moors so they can stop thinking it's a belief. Then you take them to history to show them that they're documented in law. George and them, under the Moroccan Empire, and everybody talking about they don't know who the Moors are.
I also know that Islam has always been a part of America's story. The first nation to recognize my country was Morocco.
Morocco was the first nation to recognize American independence. Thank you very much. It is indeed an honor for me to be here, to be part of this U.S. Islamic World Forum. The ties between the United States and Muslim countries and communities stretch back to America's earliest days. Morocco was the first nation to recognize American independence.
Yes.
Color. By common usage in America, this term and such phrases as colored persons, the colored race, colored men, and the alike is used to designate Negroes or persons of the African race, including all persons of mixed blood descended from the Negro ancestry.
Keep on.
After that, it's Collins versus Oklahoma
Yeah,
State
now
Hospital.
you'll go past the law cases because it's giving you reference so you can see it's even been determined in law. Now go to the small print
So
paragraph
down the
beneath
law, it says for color,
Yeah.
where a state constitution provided for separate schools for the white and colored races, the term white race was held to be limited to the Caucasian race, and the term colored races to embrace all other races. Rice versus Gong Lum.
Continue.
It has also been held that there is no legal technical signification to the phrase colored person, which the courts are bound judicially to know.
Now read that past part again.
It has been held that there is no legal technical signification to the phrase colored persons, which the courts are bound judicially to know.
So what happens? You go into court as a colored person. Are they bound to recognize you?
No.
Are they obligated to recognize you?
Automatically what?
Why? Because there's no
Yeah.
lawful.
And
There's
under
not.
the
There's
law.
no really scientific. It's a term. It's a phrase. It's a term. It's pejorative, isn't it? Now that's law. Now, what happens if you say that to people who keep playing these Afrocentric games with our people? Won't they argue you to the ground? And start talking about that's Moorish thing and we making that stuff up? And misleading people deliberately, knowing that they are not see, this is what these guys know. They know that the people that's following these little schools of thought don't have this information.
They only have
So they can play them and take their finance, get them all in these emotional arguments and beat the hell up and stuff like that. So they can play these civil rights games and get paid in the background, looking like they're doing something for the people, for the struggle. And it all appears legitimate on the surface, doesn't it? Until you study and find out that this is a social engineering mind control game and they've been part of it. You can see why they're upset with us and why the Southern Christian Poverty Law Firm sicked these shills on us that's located here in Philadelphia. And trying to say that we set that girl up to get her killed and all that kind of stuff. And then they send out their black shills to muddy the water. But see, their black shills are counting on the masses don't have this information. That's another reason we're doing this, to educate the people. So they can recognize who the COINTELPROPers are and protect themselves. Do you understand? Because these guys seem like intelligent scholars and innocent, like they really love their people. You wait till these people find out who they really are. I ain't going to have to say nothing. People going to take care of them. Now, hold on. Now let's look at this, cuz. Now, keep this in mind. One of the reasons why we're even doing this, and I wish the brother was still here, is almost because we have to clean our misconceptions and stop making excuses for people talking about what they don't know. We're the ones that don't know. And they've been taking advantage of you consciously.
There are a lot of us.
Now, remember all of these people, cops, detectives, all these people in law and claim to be law, have to sign this to do these jobs. Now, you read that, then turn around. Now, look at you. Now, let's make two people here. You sit right here. I'm going to lift Spirit Sister up. And Spirit Sister is going to sit over here.
Right.
And then you talk to Spirit Sister. You the Spirit. And you just talk to this physical sister that keep on talking about what these people don't know. They keep effing us up, but they don't know nothing. Hold on, they don't understand. Some of those ignorant. Now, read that out, then make that statement again. Read it.
The Law Enforcement Code of Ethics.
Read it again.
The Law Enforcement Code of Ethics.
Can you read it again? Because we got to really, screw this down.
The Law Enforcement Code of Ethics.
Continue.
As a law enforcement officer, my fundamental duty is to serve mankind, to safeguard lives and property, to protect the innocent against deception, the weak against oppression or intimidation, and the peaceful against violence or disorder, and to reject the constitutional rights and to respect the constitutional rights of all men to liberty, equality, and justice. It continues to say, I will keep my private life unsullied as an example to all, maintain courageous, calm, in the face of danger, scorn or ridicule, develop self-restraint, and be constantly mindful of the welfare of others. Honest in thought and deed in both my personal and official life. I will be exemplary in obeying the laws of the land and regulations of my department. Whatever I see or hear of a confidential nature or that is confided to me in my official capacity will be kept ever secret unless revelation is necessary in my performance of duty. I will never act officiously. I apologize. I will never act officiously or permit personal feelings, prejudices, animosities, or friendships to influence my decisions. With no compromise for crime, with relentless prosecution of criminals, I will enforce the law cautiously and appropriately without fear or favor, malice or ill will, never employing unnecessary force or violence, and never accepting gratuities. I recognize the badge of my office as a symbol of public faith, and I accept it as public trust to be held so long as I am true to ethics and police service.
And they do exactly the opposite, don't they?
Every day.
And then what do people keep saying? They don't understand the Constitution, which is the supreme law of the land.
I will never, it specifically said I will never allow my feelings, prejudices, or friendships influence my decisions. And we all know them to be all
and
about
what
the
happens to
friendships
anybody that
and
enforces the
influence.
Constitution? They call them troublemakers, treason, terrorists, sovereign citizens, and everything else that command their delegation of authority and their obligation to the law of the land.
That's what it says.
And then what do other people keep saying? Some of them don't know. You are saying that. However, that's an incompetent statement. And you're excusing them to do injury to people. They're not excused.
They are not.
And they do know. It is the people that don't know and keep transferring their ignorance on these people who are abusing them to excuse them in their abuse of others, right in their face.
So let me please clarify my statement by saying what I meant by
I know
most
what you
of them
meant,
are
but
ignorance
continue.
also is most of these people are also still believing that they are black as well, signing up to be policy enforcers and having
For
no
a
idea.
job.
Yes.
And even when they get in there, they start their little what? Black organizations, because they're rejected even when they get in there.
I know somebody from my neighborhood who, when all the Black Lives Matter thing started, posted all the pictures of how they were a state trooper now.
Yeah.
I guess they don't really. Or do they? I'm confused.
No, you're not confused. What's confusing is that we're discussing the real facts as opposed to throwing around the opinions. See, this is what it said. We get caught in trying to express our emotional opinions and thoughts in different conversations that we have with people instead of going back to the law that they're all obligated to. And then when we start seeing the contradiction, we're trying to find a comfort zone with it all. Start interjecting our biases. Meanwhile, the children are getting killed on the street. Innocent men and families are being broke up while we sit and make excuses for these criminals that are claiming to be officers when they're really gang members using the office to do what? To carry out the policies of unum sanctum for the Jesuit order and the popes of Rome under colonial operations, pretending to be officers of law when they're actually what? Highwaymen and organized criminals.
Kidnapping people and holding them for ransom.
Death and stealing people's automobiles and stealing people's cars and stuff, and then selling them and calling it law when they're supposed to secure and protect the people's constitutional secured rights. They're actually using their gang members and networking to rob the people.
Yo, status is first, a certificate at my birth. Made my blessing of life a curse. Going in my mom's purse and my dad's wallet. Doing things I shouldn't be doing, but I lack knowledge. No ancestral homage, only knew Tangem and Lamsey. On the other side, only knew Popeye and Granny. I learned a lot, not enough streets taught me to eat by hustling. Never knew the Moabites or musclemen. Only musclemen I knew lifted weights on bars. Most of my heroes from my hood looked through bars. Punchers in backs faced with scars. Told me store weed in jars. Get freedom, they just wanna see stars. Saying things change when you live on a range where grown men don't act their age and act in rage as he turns life's page and welcomes change. Can't be black, that hex keeps your minds enslaved. Don't be offended when we say we not black. Moors have a status, they can't make us a stat. Might be a ball cap, not a fez we rockin'. Moorish, more aboriginal, Moroccan. Don't be offended when we say we not black. Moors have a status, they can't make us a stat. Might be a ball cap, not a fez we rockin'. Moorish, more aboriginal, Moroccan. It's not just me, my people are trippin'. Playing racism and prejudice, playing the victim. Victimizing themselves, won't be responsible. Still calling Inquisition, clan, highwayman, constable. An officer, KRS-One told you overseer. Faith is lost in fruition, open slap a believer. Believing when the root of believers lie. Conscious coons love to debate, I don't know why. Passing collection plates, conscious ties get paid. Followers dumb, it's not where you at but where you from. Too many mental blockages, clear you some. Like phlegm on your chest, correct your status, Moors would hear you son. With no stress or arguments, we forever students. Feel no way to dead a nuisance. Stabbed to death with facts and truth, left black and blue. Facing the corner with a dunce cap on you. Don't be offended when we say we not black. Moors have a status, they can't make us a stat. Might be a ball cap, not a fez we rockin'. Moorish, more aboriginal, Moroccan. Don't be offended when we say we not black. Moors have a status, they can't make us a stat. Might be a ball cap, not a fez we rockin'. Moorish, more aboriginal, Moroccan. Flashbacks of dead days, drinking 40s of Schlitz. Pork glue paper spliffs, before Bloods and Crips at CMP. Nia telling us raise our consciousness and stop rhyming about nonsense. Gotta say thanks cause that brother was on it. If I could go back, trust that I would be on it. No sweat or regrets though, still made it. Thanks to Allah, our ancestors were patient. Let me do my BS, escaping scars and jail bars. Drunk, putting pedal to the metal and crash no cars. So protected even though I neglected. Higher self all those years, lower self accepted. Finally inspected and lower self ejected like Mayday. Learned many lessons in my heyday. In many sessions, bumping Mobb Deep and Smith and Wesson. Around thug life, all you hear about is weapons. From pistols to blades, Rambo or butterfly style. Pigs always shake you down cause of the gutter lifestyle. It was really preparation nowadays for what we facing and defending against corpse nation. Don't be offended when we say we not black. Moors have a status, they can't make us a stat. Might be a ball cap, not a fez we rockin'. Moorish, more aboriginal, Moroccan. Don't be offended when we say we not black. Moors have a status, they can't make us a stat. Might be a ball cap, not a fez we rockin'. Moorish, more aboriginal, Moroccan.